What up, Fragcom? Here's my fragrance collection. It's time to show you everything. I hope you like my selection with a ton of sillage and a heap of projection. When I enter the room, I can't avoid detection. When I leave my home, then I'm in need of protection, cause when the ladies smell me coming, they want to show me affection. If you're sitting at home with a feeling of dejection, sit down and learn about olfactory perfection. There's a niche shelf designer and a big vintage section. From masculine fougères to sweet gourmand confection. You can call it a hobby or you can say it's an addiction. This fragrance fanaticism is a crippling affliction. I haven't got as many as Mark Robe's 08, but it's still unnecessary and my head is in a state. My name's Mr. Smelly and I am a smelly man. I'm gonna use all this perfume before I die if I can.
Hello everyone and welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So something a little bit different today. I'm going to run you through my entire fragrance collection as it stands at the moment. This pretty much includes all the full bottles. There might be the odd one that I've just put somewhere else, but it's pretty much 99% of them. I've left out some really nice niche decants that I have. It's, some 30ml and 50ml decants, but just included full bottles in this one. We've got some niche designer fragrances, cheapies, some vintage stuff, all kinds of things. Not necessarily a very comprehensive collection compared to other reviewers out there who have really massive ones. I think I'm around about approximately the 200 mark in my collection, which is far too many. I don't encourage anyone out there to think they have to go and buy that many fragrances. And for me, I definitely would like to maybe sell a few before I start getting new ones in, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous and it does get hard to store them. But I do love and cherish pretty much all of them to some extent. So let's get into it. I'll run you through the whole list and let me know in the comments below what you think of my collection. It's very much biased, I think, a little bit towards fresher scents. There are some sweet ones, gourmand scents, even ones with a hint of oud, but it's much more leaning towards French style perfumery, fresher scents, traditional masculine scents. But there is quite a bit of diversity, but not even one full bottle of Amouage. So some glaring omissions. Let me know what you think. Let's get stuck into it. Here we go. Okay everybody, so here we go. Here's my fragrance collection. They're pretty much all in this one shelving unit. There's a little bit of overspill here that we'll come to at the end. So not going to give you much description, just going to whiz through it and hopefully name pretty much all the ones that we see in the video. So the top shelf is mostly niche. We can see it's Creed here. So we've got Millesime Imperial, Creed Royal Mayfair. Behind that one we have Royal Oud, and then we have Neroli Sauvage. At the back there we have Bois de Portugal, backup bottle of Bois de Portugal, then Green Irish Tweed and Bois de Cedrat, a nice freshie from Creed. Next up we've got New York Intense by Nikolai. Behind that we have 1861 Renaissance Xerjoff. There's some more Creed, that's a small Aventus, and one of my favourites now, Spice and Wood. Colonia Essenza, I've got the aftershave balm bottle there for some reason too. The original Acqua di Parma Colonia, Acqua di Parma Colonia Assoluta. Then the Blue Mediterraneos I have are Ginepro de Sardinia, and at the back there it's Fico di Amalfi, and I have Colonia Leather here. Behind that, Ambra del Napolbon from Firenze, the Italian company, I can't remember the exact name, Penhaligon Sartorial. And there we have Mancera Cedrat Boise. On the next line then, it's Floris, number 89. Behind that, Fougère Nobile by Nobile 1942. Milano Cento, him, great barbershop scent. And then we have Histoire de Parfums, 1725 Casanova. A few laboratory perfumes there. We have Tonka, Gorse and Samphire. And at the front there, 4160 Tuesdays. And that's Ealing Green. Next up, Lorenzo Villaresi Uomo. Behind that, Andy Tau's Cologne de Maghreb. Then we have Hubegant's Cologne Intense and Fougère Royale. Next up we've got Sven Pritzke's XP Parfums, and that one is the fabulous Lignum Vitae 40. Not niche, but we've got some Chanel there. There's some vintage versions of Chanel Pour Monsieur and the original, or sorry, the current bottle of Chanel Pour Monsieur next shelf then is mostly sort of older style masculine designer fragrances, quite a few being vintage. So let's see what we have. Oscar de la Renta Pour Louis Mini, and a sample or a sprayer for that one, Mini of Heritage by Guerlain and Envy by Gucci. Then we have Chanel's Egoist. It's a bit murky in there, sorry about that, but We have Body Chorus and Opium by Yves Saint Laurent. Then we've got 2 vintage Chorus right at the back there, one an aftershave, one eau de toilette. I'll move a little bit of stuff. Sorry about the rather poor camera work today. So then we've got Quorum, and behind that, Quorum by Antonio Puig. Behind that, Yves Saint Laurent's Pour Homme. Then we have Jules from Dior Dracar Noir and Antaeus Pour Homme from Chanel. The one that I moved there was Dior's Eau Sauvage. That is a vintage version of that one, and I have a small sample of the vintage Antaeus. My bottle is a modern version. Next up then, we've got the famous Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, the Italian made in Italy version. Then we have Dolce & Gabbana Masculine, now discontinued, as is By Man from Dolce & Gabbana. Next line or row of stuff, we've got Balenciaga Pour Homme, then Azzaro Pour Homme, Lapidus Pour Homme, and hiding away there you have Lagerfeld Classic 2. Next up, Eau de Cologne Imperial from Guerlain. Hiding behind that one, we have Guerlain's Heritage, Eau de Rochas and Monsieur de Givenchy. Next, Fahrenheit from 1988 from Dior, Gaultier Squared, Versace versus Uomo, and then we have Capucci Pour Homme. Then on the next row, we have Armani's Eau Pour Homme, Safari by Ralph Lauren, and then there's Rochas Man tucked away in there. Next up, Monsieur de Givenchy from 1955, a vintage bottle of that one. Givenchy's discontinued Encense, and Xerius, a vintage bottle of that one. Then we have Paco Rabanne Pour Homme Eau, the original Paco Rabanne from 1974, and 2 bottles of Paco Rabanne Sport. Then we have the original formula and bottle for Yves Saint Laurent's Rive Gauche, and there is a strong hot concentration version of Monsieur de Givenchy, which I better just show, tucked away in there. Okay, down to the next row then, where we mostly have more modern masculine designer fragrances. So we've got Rive Gauche Pour Homme from Yves Saint Laurent. There we have CK1 Shock, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, Prada Amber Pour Homme, and Mont Blanc Individual. In the next row then, we've got Carolina Herrera Chic for Men, Ferrari Bright Neroli, Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and Versace Pour Homme, Issey Miyake, L'Odyssée, and Yves Saint Laurent Jazz at the back there. Not very visible in there. We also do have Givenchy Gentleman Only Intense and Absolute, Sean John Unforgivable, and then we have Dior Homme Parfum and Dior Homme Intense, and a sample from Fragrance Samples UK of Dior Homme, the original Eau de Toilette. You can still get a code for me, 10% off if you say, or use the code Smelly September, still valid until we do the new video, which will come soon in October, with Fragrance Samples UK. Next up then, Valentino Vendetta, a classic one, now discontinued from 1991. Then we have Very Valentino, Valentino Uomo, and then we have Valentino Uomo Intense and Noir Absolute tucked away at the back there. Next up then, we have in this row Midnight in Paris from Van Cleef & Arpels, Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche, Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. This is Habit Rouge Sport that you can't quite see. Really love this fragrance though. So let's just show you that one. Brilliant fragrance, now discontinued. And then you've got Lolita Lempicka Midnight Au Masculin. Then we have a vintage Givenchy Gentleman, La Nuit de l'Homme from Yves Saint Laurent, Dior Sauvage, Calvin Klein Obsession for Men. Then we have Dunhill Icon, Fahrenheit Parfum from Dior, Guerlain's, which one is that? I think that is Pampelune. And we have Jean Varvatos Artisan Pure. Next row then, a more modern formula of Givenchy Gentleman and a mini vintage one. Then we've got Mugler Cologne, Jean Paul Gaultier, Popeye Eau Fraiche, La Mal version, and La Mal Fleur de Mal La Cologne, and tucked away at the back there, Versace Man. Next one then, Cacharel Pour Homme, Aramis, the original, and vintage bottles of Polo Green from Ralph Lauren. Down to the bottom shelf then, let's see what we have here. So in the corner there's some more fragrance samples from Fragrance Samples UK, so I still have those, and they're great reference points. Even if you just open up the top and sniff them, you can have them as really good references for ages, even if you only get a small one. Then we've got Darej Ezra, a really interesting exotic fragrance. We have here Extra Eau Selvaggio, small bottle of Eau d'Orange Vert from Hermes. Then we have Adidas Ice Dive, Al Haramain's La Venture, a backup bottle of Colonia Essenza Acqua di Parma, Pineapple Vintage, the original. I've still got all the other variations they've sent me, but I just keep that one to represent the brand there. The others are boxed up and tucked away in a shelf upstairs because they would take up a lot of room. Aqua Amara from Bulgari, Pinard Clubman. There's an old bottle of Brut aftershave there too. The London Oud from Saint Salem smells very similar to Interlude Man. You've got Lanvin Avant-Garde, a decant of Le Barbier de Tangier from MDCI Parfums there. There's Al Rehab Silver, Cacharel Porom, modern version. Boss Spirit, a really nice rare scent which I'm really privileged to have. Brut Special Reserve. Then we have Lagerfeld Capsule Light and Excess Extreme from Paco Rabanne, and also tucked in there is Yardley Citrus and Wood. Eau de Missions from Cologne de Minimes is next. Then we've got Bogart One Man Show, a rare obscure Aventus clone called Modern Aventus. Another bottle of Dolce & Gabbana Porom. Bowling Green from Jeffrey Green, really love that one. James Bronley's original Eau de Toilette. Then we've got Emperor Aftershave from Razor Rock. Fine Classic Aftershave from American Blend Fine Accoutrements. Aqua Allegoria Nerolia Bianca from Guerlain. Then we've got in here Agua de Colonia Concentrada, Alvarez Gomez, Moschino Porom. What's the name of this one? Alder Al Macnoon from Latafa, Club de Nuit Intense Man, Armaf. A couple of Creed Green Irish Tweed versions back there, clones of that one. And then we have Jose by a company whose name temporarily escapes me. Bogart Porom, several bottles of that one. And finally, Tonder Madeleine from Centres Gourmand by Laurence Dumont. Then we have Jill Sander Sun for Men. FM number 29 from Federico Majora, a clone of La Nuit de l'Homme, Ragbar Latafa, and of course 24 Gold at the back. Now there are a couple of others I should mention, so let's check those out. So these are the Overspill area here, some that I've been sent recently for review. So this is Amber Oud Gold Edition from Al Haramain, Foa Perfumes number 11, Fine Apple from Gallagher Fragrances. I'll hopefully give you my verdict on that one soon. Darege from Rasasi, two versions of Jai Porom, the EDT and the EDP from Boucheron. Bentley for Men Intense and Absolute. Salvador Dali Leroy Soleil, Evergreen Dream from Gallagher Fragrances, the new one from Zoologist Travel Spray of T-Rex. Salvador Dali, that's my recommended underarm deodorant, don't know what that's doing there, sorry. And I do have all the doers that Doer Fragrances have sent me, which I still do value and consider very much part of my collection. Some great clones of some niche stuff, and I've got Alexandria clones and stuff boxed up somewhere, just moved, so not everything is on display. That is about it. That's my full collection, guys. Let me know what you think of it. Looks something like that at the moment. Thanks ever so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. Aqua Allegoria Nerolia Bianca from Guerlain. Then we've got in here, whoops.